Cool. Seems like we are live. So, hello everyone. Good evening. I can see Rishi, Alok, Yash. Hello everyone. Hi Amarth. Can you let us know in the chat box whether we are audible, visible, everything is good or not? I can see. Seems like it's good. All good. Can you all confirm? Hi Ranjit. Hi Manu, Zakir, Yash. All good. Suraj, Ashish, Venkatesh. Hi Shalja. I hope you can see
Hey
the chat,
everyone.
Shalja.
Yeah,
Awesome. Cool, cool. Awesome. Let's get started. So I hope you have seen the title, you have seen the thumbnail as well, that what we want to discuss in this live stream. Basically, just to give the introduction, you know that Shalja is working at Microsoft, and I am Villa. I mean, I am also working, but yeah, so I'm working. But the thing we want to discuss how you all can get more understanding about the data analytics domain, most specifically the project part, because that is something which I have been getting as a common question, and most of the time people find it very difficult to how to get started with the data analytics type of projects. A lot of people want to move into it, so this is what we wanted to cover, and I will ask those questions to Shalja. I will provide my inputs as well. So this is the thing we want to discuss, and as always, right, you are open for your questions. Keep on putting it in the chat box, and we will be basically answering all your questions as well. And just to begin with our project discussion part, so I am not sure how many of you saw my announcement that Shalya took the initiative to bring that amazing data analytics course as well. So there was a huge request from all of our learners that extend the mega launch window. So I thought, okay, why not to hear their voice, and we did that. So I thought let's conduct one more live stream and educate people about the data analytics domain. And if anyone did not hear about the announcement of the data analytics bootcamp, which will be completely from basic to advanced part with the practical and industry projects. And the most special thing about the bootcamp, Shalya will be teaching everything from the live. So doesn't matter what is your stream, definitely you are going to enjoy it. So till the live stream is going on, enjoy this offer, and I have provided it in the chat box. And yep, so cool. Let's get started. Shalja, anything you want to start first? What do you think? I mean, if I am a fresher and I want to get kick started with the data analytics domain, what major challenges we usually face, and how we can overcome this as per your experience?
sure. Shashank, actually, I believe this is the right question to start with here because I get this query very often that either I'm a fresher or someone who wants to go into data domain, thanks to many people, including you, who are making aware about that. Okay, there is another opportunity in the industry where you can go. But the problem that people face is that, ma'am, we are coming from a different background, specifically the non-tech guys that we are not from engineering background, so how do we want to, but we are very much interested to make a career in IT, so how do we go forward with that? So the challenges that you might face is that you come from a different background, not having specific information regarding which career you should choose. But I would say that if someone who wants to enter into data domain, data analyst is the best and the easiest route. I've always said that thing, and I'll explain this in detail why it is the easiest route. But anyways, data analyst should be the first priority of people who want to enter into data domain. And one major reason is people fear coding, and people fear mathematics, and people who don't come from engineering background, they do fear these things a lot. So for them to make things easier, data analyst is a field where they can enter into IT domain without these things becoming a big burden on them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, means the main thing I wanted to discuss, let's say, I guess whenever we and basically I keep on conducting the podcast on my channel. I have talked to many data analysts who transition their career. I mean, their transition was mind blowing. I cannot even imagine that the way they transitioned. Somebody came from the sales backgrounds, like 5 years in the teaching is experience. Somebody UPSC dropped out, like 6 years gap, and latest like a bank manager, like 10 years in the as a bank manager, and now moved as a data analyst. I was literally amazed that I have not heard these many success stories in any other profile. Honestly, like the SDs or even including me. I am a data engineer, but I can say that I have not heard these many good stories. So, main emphasize whenever I talk to them, they talk about the projects, right? Acquiring the skill set is one thing, but what about the project? How we can solidify our portfolio? So, let's say if I want to start with particular project. So, first thing, how should I figure out, right, what kind of project I should create and where to find it? What should be my starting point?
Again, a very important thing, and I think everyone should focus on these things, because what people do is, just because there is a hype in the market, we'll go and become a data scientist, data engineer, data analyst. We learn all those skills, but sometimes people find it that, ma'am, we have learned all those skills, but we are not able to get a good job. And the major reason is that portfolio is not that strong enough. So that is why projects play a very important role for cracking any data analyst role. So when I talk about like what kind of projects people should make, so first of all, you should understand what exactly is this data analyst field. Until you understand the field itself, until you understand what skills are needed, you'll not be able to make good projects. So data analyst domain is all about understanding how analytics work. That's why we learn SQL, we learn Excel, we learn Power BI or Tableau. Then on top of it, we learn languages like Python or R, and then a bit of statistics and mathematics. So why these five, six skills are very much important for a data analyst role is, once you get well versed with all these five, six skills, then you start developing analytical thinking. You start to analyze things. And that is very important for making any data analyst project. After learning all of these skills, then comes what kind of projects. So, frankly, there is no perfect project that you should put in your resume that says, okay, I'll put this project in my resume and I'll get a job. But my suggestion for people is always have at least 2 to 3 good end-to-end projects which showcase your skills in terms of analytics, and then have a portfolio that could help you to get a good job. So, what kind of project? Let's say I want to create a normal sales dashboard. That's something where the data set is very easily available. People can refer to Kaggle, which is a very good website where you'll have thousands of data sets freely available. You can just pick that data. And one thing is, not even Kaggle. For any of us who wants to just start with their analytical journey, I have a very good example. Everyone have their personal finances. Everyone just go ahead, download your monthly statement or yearly statement, and analyze that data. Maybe that analysis will help you individually, and also you can make a portfolio out of it. So data can be available anywhere. You just need to get that data. That is the first step. And then start applying these analytical through SQL, through Python, through statistics, and finally create dashboards and reports where you can analyze, okay, this is where I spend much, I should not spend much there.
Awesome. Cool. I guess, yeah, that would be a very good starting point. Someone who just do not know about like where to start. But yeah, now just a add on. Let's say we decided, right? This is the project I want to create. So two things, even the interviews, right, how interviewers expect candidates to work on the projects. Like, do not just go with 100, 200, or 1000 rows of data and just try to like put it in the dashboard or something like that. So what do you suggest in that case? How we should create our projects? Like, just a dummy data set would be fine, or some data set which is realistic and some business value, right? Even if we mimic a project or create a hands-on self-made project, that would be worth enough.
That's frankly, when people start with, I would say you can start with a dummy data, with a smaller set of data. But in order to build a strong portfolio, people should have data which makes sense, because at the end, your project should not look like a capstone project that you build with 100 lines of Excel that you took and you created a dashboard on top of it. Like, for example, if I'm running a company, I want to understand the profit and loss that my company had in this particular year. What was the sales? All these details. Let's say I'm running an e-commerce company. So get that data which makes some sense. Like it should be something which is related to any real case study, and then you perform your different kind of exploratory data analysis, data cleaning, and finally the final outcome, your report, your dashboard that you build should, I always say this thing, that before even jumping to project, you should understand what kind of problem you are solving, so that when the final dashboard is there, you are able to answer some questions. Like for example, I'm just taking example of Swiggy here because most of us use Swiggy to order food every day. So at the end, if I'm a data analyst who is working at Swiggy, what my job is to understand that, okay, in this particular duration, let's say Diwali, there were most orders were taking place at this particular duration. So which kind of customers bought more food, which kind of customers bought less, which area had more deals. So where should I focus more? How should I increase my revenue? So my overall target here is to increase the revenue. So that is why my data should be according to that, my analytics should be according to that, and my final dashboard or the report that I'm building should answer questions like that. So make your projects which make sense, which are related to some real life case study, and which is able to solve some problem.
Absolutely cool. Sounds good. So at least in the chat box, I can see people are facing issues with the link. So what you can do, you can just visit this www.growdataskills.com, because while pasting something in the chat's URL gets like messed up. So that is the reason. So you can check there because the course is available. I hope at least this should work now. Let me know if that is working. You can visit that one and it should work. All right. So now moving on to the next question, Shalya, for you. So one of the important part, what is more suitable, right? Let's say there are limited skill sets. First of all, we need to learn in the you can say data analytics domain. So what is more powerful to showcase? Like just create something with the help of Python or SQL, or creating some dashboards that would be much more beneficial.
I would say it's not like one skill. That's why if someone would have, if that would have been the case, one should just go and learn Power BI and create dashboard, and you are a data analyst then. It's kind of a mix of all these skills. We learn SQL so that we can use SQL to query the data that we have, to find useful information, to transform the data in the form we want. Then we go ahead with Excel. Excel is a very good and a very handy tool in which you can perform data cleaning, data transformation, even you can perform visualization. Then, why do we learn statistics? Because some basic concepts of statistics are very much essential to understand the data. Then, why do we learn Python? Because Python as a language helps you to clean the data, transform it again. And lastly comes Power BI, I would say the cherry on the top. So I would say if someone wants to make a project, just don't go and make a Power BI dashboard or use SQL to perform any kind of analysis or create an Excel spreadsheet. Rather, a good data analyst project is some project which includes all these skills into one, and then your final outcome is a mix of your Python, SQL, Excel, Power BI, and statistics. That's a full-fledged data analyst project.
Okay, cool. So maybe I think hand to hand I should pick up few queries as well,
Yeah,
else they
about
will
to say
like
that.
this guy is asking his own questions. But yeah, I guess in the pinned comment, right, the link is fixed now. Maybe something messed up with the URL, but yeah, you can check it again. All the link which is working, it will directly redirect you to the data analytics bootcamp and the launch offer, which we will simply you can say remove after this live stream. So now the question which I can see, let me backtrack, else they will be like first come first serve. Let me pick few questions. All right. This question, nostalgic Arpit, one important question, which is the best product management, which is the best, I guess, profile is asking for product management or the data science or the business analytics. Kindly answer.
Okay. I believe these three domains, if you would want to choose, depends upon your year of experience that you hold, your obviously your inclination and the background that you come from. Let me start with the most hyped one, which is data science. So, in order to get into data science field, most important thing right now is that you should have all those skills, starting from the basic till machine learning, and that's a whole different world. Firstly,
Mhm.
and second thing is in data science, normally people are expected to have 3 to 4 years of experience in data domain to enter into data science field. So if your experience background matches these qualification and you are inclined towards data science, you can go ahead. Then comes business analytics, data analytics. There are different terminologies, but overall, I've already mentioned. If you are someone who wants to make a career in IT, maybe if you are coming from non-tech or technical background and have more inclination towards dealing with data, playing with data, and doing something which not only involves coding, but there are multiple soft skills and hard skills which are important here, then go for this role. And coming to product management, it's a kind of a non-tech role, I would say, that deals with, but it is very much similar to business analytics role, but it involves more of talking with the clients, consulting, and all of these domains. So these are three different fields. As per your inclination, background, you can choose any of these three.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks for answering it, Shalja. And now, okay, cool. I guess question from Sachin. How much hours and month is needed to prepare for data analyst job role? Yep, maybe you can talk about the bootcamp. Why did you prepare it for just 3 months? Like,
Yeah.
why, Shalja, why is your bootcamp length is 3 months?
I was waiting for a question like this, which talks about skills as well as the duration. So I've
Mhm.
got this question from many people that, ma'am, do you think 3 months is enough for a data analyst preparation? That because of my boot camp is a 3 months boot camp. So I would say I have been saying this thing. I'll repeat it again. The most in-demanded skill for any data analyst role are Python or R, SQL, Power BI or Tableau, statistics, Excel. So these are five pillars, I would say, around which you can build a good portfolio and crack a good role for a data analyst job. So I have designed this bootcamp in such a way that I'll be covering all these concepts theoretically. But one very important point is that data analyst job is one such job where more than any theoretical understanding, you should have hands-on, you should have projects. So the curriculum involves that we'll learn Python, then we'll do hands-on on Python, SQL, hands-on on SQL, and similarly we'll do this for all the five skills. And then finally, we'll have end-to-end projects, which is the most important part to have a good portfolio, which covers all these five skills, and we'll have two such real industry projects so that you learn all these skills, you implement all these things, and finally, the most important part, how do we get a job, how do we get calls, what kind of resume we should have, what kind of LinkedIn profile we should have, all that is covered. So that's why I've put a kind of a timeline of 3 months. Its name is fast track, but 3 months is a good amount of time where you can learn, implement, and start appearing for any data analyst role.
Absolutely. And the main point, like when I and Shalja were discussing this thing, so her main point was, let's keep it like practical. The like uh, try to add more practical projects which are industry oriented, not just the thing which we were discussing in the beginning, creating a dashboard on 1000 rows or anything like that. So this is the main beauty of this bootcamp. And also the question which you are asking, right? So apart from all these things like designing it, how we are going to do it, most important part is how do you manage your time as well, because the working professional are going to face this challenge, specifically managing their time. So see, if you want to achieve something, few things needs to be sacrificed, right? It would be your comfort maybe for a couple of months, but the end result would be really fruitful. So this is what we are expecting from the learners in this boot camp. If you have this type of intention, then like this 3 months where you will be in our hands, and that too live classes, right? You are definitely going to enjoy this journey. Cool. Awesome. Like, oh my God, lots of questions. Let me.
I'll just
Mm.
take one question, which is a repetitive question. Here,
From Suraj.
Shashank.
Suraj.
Yeah, and I guess it's a very important question for people to
Yeah.
know
The
because
minimum
at the
salary.
end, salary matters. And why do
Yep.
we
Yep.
want to go into data analyst role? So, Suraj,
Okay.
or anyone else who is concerned about the salary about a data analyst, so as a fresher, why I'm saying that data analyst is in demand, you can just relate it because as a fresher, you can expect a salary of 7 to 8 LPA even as a fresher, and that is what the current market trend is. But having said that, there are a lot of people, and if you want to just cross confirm that, you will have a lot of podcasts on Shashank's channel where you can see that there are a lot of people who, as a fresher, have bagged very good offers, much higher than 7 8 LPA. So these are kind of very modest number which I just quoted. Then it depends on what kind of skills you have, how good your projects are, how good your portfolio is, and how well you have performed in the interview. So that's how you can grow your salary also exponentially. But yeah, that's what you can expect as a fresher.
Yep. So salary negotiation is a itself a skill in itself. So multiple factors, like if you have counter offers, you perform in a interview, then definitely this number would be really good. But on an average, is definitely for the freshers, this would be a really good start. Most important part is like the it is the easiest entry point, right? If you, even like I'm a data engineer, right? If you are interested, like many people ask me that I'm interested in the data engineering, my first question to them, are you really interested in programming? And apart from that, are you really interested in building or solving complex engineering problems related to data? If you have your mindset in such a way, then most welcome into the data engineering world, else look for something else. So right, this is how I look forward to it. So if you are not prioritizing your experience, and maybe just because of the salary numbers, maybe in SD it is more, and maybe in data science it would be a little bit less, so that is not the deciding factor. Ultimately, your interest and whether you are going to enjoy that role or not, that will also play an important role. So decide accordingly. And I think there was one more question, yeah, from Ankit. How this course will help us to get an entry level job apart from the teaching? What extra we are doing, Shalja, apart from teaching? How we are helping our learners with respect to the job hunting?
So, like I said, we are not only teaching here. I am emphasizing the intent of this bootcamp is not to just come up and teach you something theoretically, because data analyst is not a domain which is a needs only theoretical understanding. So we are working on projects. We are making sure that you have hands-on experience with real life industry projects, not some capstone projects. That's one thing. Second thing is, I've seen a lot of people who undergo all of these things, who even have like good skills and hands-on, but then also they are not able to get interviews, because that's again a very important step. Getting interview calls, performing good in interviews, having a good portfolio. So in this bootcamp itself, the once we are done with teaching, we'll make sure we'll help you in career guidance, how to crack interviews, what kind of questions you can get, how to make a portfolio, how to make LinkedIn profile, all of these which we call as help or career guidance. We are covering all this in this bootcamp itself. So don't worry about that. We are there to take care of that also.
Yeah, we even, like, if you check our curriculum, we have two dedicated modules for it, right? Because resume is going to play the important role. I and Shalja both are very active on LinkedIn and talking. Let's say after my job at McKinsey, I did not apply in any of the company. Whatever opportunities I got so far, that was all because of LinkedIn. Recruiters reached out to me. I did not reach out to recruiters, and it did not happen because I had the followers. No, it is just like we know how to use LinkedIn effectively, right? So it can definitely a very good point for you to get those opportunities, and that's why we will be sharing all of our experiences, that how you can make it best. And most important part, the interview related whatever things, right? We are bringing our personalized experience. It's not like we were teaching somewhere for last 5 6 years and just we are bringing that legacy into that bootcamp. No, it's just like whatever we have experience in the data as a data professional in the industry. I have experience in different companies. What Shelja has experience, we are bringing that thing. So I think one question I got it, and I wanted this question to appear here. Like, can plus years experience can enroll in this bootcamp? If yes, how would be career and future scope? So see, I guess Naveen joined pretty late. So in the beginning, I was explaining, right? I have done the podcast on my channel with many data analysts, right? So, Naveen, if you want to get that inspiration, that motivation, I would highly recommend just to watch couple of latest podcasts on my channel. You will also feel that even if I'm 15 plus years of experience, maybe in a different job profile, maybe in a different career, I will be able to crack this job. And this is what, right? If you hear those podcasts, the common skill set which you will hear from them, they focused on the Python, SQL, statistics, MS Excel, and like the dashboarding part, right? All those things were there. So this is what is expected, and you will not be treated as a fresher like a complete the person who is starting from the zeroth position. No, whatever 10x years experience you had in a different domain, that would be also accountable, right? So this is how you will be treated for the next job role, but before that you need to focus a lot on acquiring the skills part, and that's what you will be getting here.
True.
Cool.
A lot
Okay.
of
Maybe
questions
one
come.
question. Yeah, I'll pick the questions from here. One pet question from my side. I know a lot of people want to know about it. How much
Mhm.
weightage is given to SQL and Python DSA thing in the data analyst interviews? Because people get misleaded. Like in the data analytics interviews, they need to prepare more and more on the programming or the DSA side, and probably they miss preparing things related to the SQL. So, how should they prepare, and how much weightage they should give to each of these topics, SQL and Python?
I would say here in data analyst field is one such field where we can say that DSA is a non-important part here, because I have seen a lot of people who do fear DSA, who come from tech or non-tech background, but are not sure whether they can enter into this field because this again requires DSA. So some companies, it's not like a mandatory thing, but there are some companies who might ask you a few questions around DSA, but overall 90% companies do not even touch DSA for any data analyst role, because here in the work itself you don't face any situation where you're using complex algorithms to tackle any kind of situation. And talking about again language like Python or R, so this again comes an add-on skill that you have, but the primary skill for any data analyst is SQL, Excel, and Power BI. These are the three most primary skill. And why? Because SQL, Excel, and Power BI are those three skills which you actually use for performing analytics. Power
Mhm.
BI, sorry, talking about Python. Python is a programming language that is good to have, because first of all there is a lot of competition in the market. So why do you want to stay behind? And second thing is, Python offers so many libraries and packages which you can use for performing so many data operations so easily. That is why Python is again a very preferred languages by companies for any data role. So that's why if you are someone who is preparing for data analyst role, do not only focus on learning language, learning Python or DSA. Focus on SQL, focus on Excel, focus on Power BI, focus on basic statistics, and as well then focus on Python. And projects, like I said, are very important.
Yep, absolutely. Because this is something where people feel lost completely. And I personally think to crack this role specifically, you need to focus more on the SQL part, uh, because basic to advanced level, it will be asked for sure. All right, let me pick a few more questions.
There is a
Mm,
question regarding the scope of data analyst role in future. Shashank?
okay. Okay. Yep. Please go ahead, answer that one.
Yeah.
I'll find that
So
point.
the question says that will this is this only a current trend, or whether it will be available in future? So before
Mhm.
answering that question, just I want to give a few examples of how much we are surrounded by data. So if you're
Mhm.
someone who just look back 5 years or 10 years back and just compare the situation which was there then and now. Now the amount of data that we personally are generating, ordering food, ordering everything online, digital payments. See, if you yourself can compare the amount of data that is being generated is increasing tremendously exponentially. And that is the reason that data roles demand is increasing. And it will go ever increasing in future. It is not like this is a current trend that is going on in the market and later it will be gone. We are just going towards digital more and more, and we are generating more than data than ever. So this is just the start, I would say. The future for data domain is more and more and more. There is no stop to that.
Yep, cool. Future, I mean, data is the future. Now you have started hearing the boom of like the AI, chat GPT, even people have started talking about AI replacing our jobs. So it is there, right? Everything, like what the future I can see, maybe after 10, 15, 20 years, you will see uh, a lot of things, even about your life, will be decided on the basis of the data, right? Lots of your activities will be dependent on the data, right? So, yeah, the future is uh, completely oriented on the data part. So a question is there. I have 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. job on Sunday also. Should I join this bootcamp? How do I cope up? So Sayan, definitely you can do that. At least Saturday you'll be able to join the live classes. And the best part of our bootcamp is that we are recording all of our live classes, right? Whatever live classes we are doing, it will be recorded. And just after the class, it will be available on the dashboard. So once you back in your like from your job, take some rest, and then watch that video and continue with all the assignments, quizzes, and the interview questions which we will be providing after each of the module. That would be you can say this is how you can basically proceed for the preparation part, and then you will be having your weekdays as well to prepare more on this part. So this is how it is. All right, let's see what's next we have. All right, all right. Uh, let me find.
I believe there are a lot of questions flooded.
Lots of, yeah. I'm also lost. I am completely lost. Let me pick. Hmm. Okay, maybe it's like so far we talked a lot about the data related things. So why not to ask about your experience, Shalja, right? Working in the product based companies, that to mang level company. How does it feel? How the environment looks like, the team, the projects, the work life balance, how everything goes. Just give that some feel to the audience as well.
Sure. So I started my career in a service-based company, and my initially itself I started with as a data engineer. So I was working as a data engineer at Fractal, where I was working on complex data problems. Later, then I switched to data science because from start itself my interests aligned towards data science domain. So currently, I'm working at Microsoft as a data and applied scientist. So, talking about the growth which I have seen in my journey itself, I believe I always had interest in data. And I see one question, and I would like to address that as well. That how do you know that which is the field which you should go for? How do I know that I should make a career in data analyst? So I also felt the same thing that there are so many options, and I am a computer science graduate. And specifically for engineering people, SDE is the only option which people talk about, companies hire for. But from the start itself, I did not had much interest in DSA, Java, and mainly towards SDE role. So I found myself struggling with all the other friends of mine who always wanted to become an SDE. So from the college itself, I started to learn about what exactly other options are there. I learned about blockchain, I learned about web development, I learned a lot of things. But finally, I would say someone as a mentor who guided me towards data domain, and I came to know that okay, there is something else which might be something I can go towards because that sounded interesting initially. Then I started learning things. Then I started even making projects. But when I started making projects in my college itself, then I got to know that okay, this is something which I am interested in rather than all the other options I tried. So that is where my journey of data started. And for people who don't know, I'm saying I just have one answer. Without even trying, you'll never know which is the field which suits you. So if you want, if you think, if you're even thinking of entering data domain, there are a lot of examples of people you can talk to, you can understand the kind of work they are doing, the expectation from the companies. So about me, then I started as a data engineer. Then I switched to a data science role. So I'm a data engineer, data analyst, come data scientist. So it's a mix of all three. So I'm working full fledged on all these skills.
Full stack data
I
professional.
am a full stack data person. I always say that. But yeah, I have seen a lot of people talking about that. I want to go into a product based company. I want to go into FANG, MANG, and all of these terminologies that are there. One thing that I can talk about from my experience is that, let's say, talking about Microsoft, product based companies generically do have some very good tech stack that you would surely want to work on, some very latest industry trends that you would not find normally. And most importantly, everyone talks about salary, work life balance, which is very important for us because we cannot work 24/7. So this is
Yeah.
again something I've been witnessing in my current role, which is again a very good motivation that I get a very good work life balance, and then when I work with full heart. So yeah, that's overall my experience, and I have been promoting data domain to people so that there are a lot of people who might be like me, who come from engineering background, who don't even come from engineering background, but don't know where to go. So I've always said that the data is the, like you said, data is the new fuel. Data jobs are in demand. So why not you want to try and see whether you align towards that and whether this career is something you would want to make in.
No, absolutely. I fully agree with all those points you mentioned, the transitioning from service to product, how things looks at the product side, and most important, the experience, the fast track environment to learn, right? The tech stack, the environment, work life, right? Everything is definitely top notch. But one thing, the initiative you took, right? Like let's educate people about the data. I also started this journey. Like now people call it, they लोग तुम इन्फ्लुएंसर हो गए हो अभी, तो वो वाला जो phase है, I started back in 2020. That time I also realized, right? Because there was too much hype in the industry, and every question I was just getting related to data science, data science, data science. And honestly speaking, maybe many of you might feel offended, but that's totally fine. I was like, data science की इतनी क्यों बात करनी, like क्या लोगों ने कुछ देखा ही नहीं है डेटा में और क्या है, मतलब मे बी मार्केट में सब इतना हाइप इस वजह से ही हो गया, लाइक पीपल लिटरली इग्नोर रेस्ट ऑफ द थिंग, राइट? If they are willing, if they are not like unwillingly, they just blindly want to go behind it, they are just chasing it because they heard this is very cool, mathematics is involved there, all those part. That is completely fine, but until unless I was really bad at mathematics, right? I was really bad at it, I never enjoyed it, so definitely I skipped that phase. When, like the way Shalja you explored, right? तुमने ब्लॉकचेन पे काम करा, वेब डेव भी तुमने देखा, ठीक है, डेटा इंजीनियरिंग भी देख ली. So same thing I did. College में तो इतना नहीं पता था, तो I did not explore anything much. And I started my career in a service-based company as a SD. I was like, भाई ये front end back end अपने बस की नहीं है, ठीक है. So I started exploring this part, data engineering, right? Luckily I got this opportunity in my first company itself, where other team members were working on it. But yeah, that's how. But अगर लकीली मेरे को वो चीज मिल गई, बट मैंने इंटरेस्ट नहीं दिखाया होता कि इसको मैं एक्सप्लोर करूं, तो आज मैं ऐसे डेटा इंजीनियरिंग का बैठ के बातें नहीं कर रहे होते. तो
True.
दिस इज हाउ इट गोज, राइट? अंटिल अनलेस यू do not try anything, you will not be able to figure out what is good and what is bad for you. मार्केट में भी जाते हो यार, कोई चीज लेनी होती तो 4 पैकेट उठा के देखते हो, अच्छा अच्छा वाला कौन सा है. तो अपना लाइफ में अगर डिसीजन इतने लेने हैं, तो व्हाई नॉट टू ट्राई. ज्यादा से ज्यादा क्या होगा, थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा, कहीं 2 महीने में पहुंचने वाले थे, तो मे बी 6 मंथ्स आपको लग जाए जस्ट टू फिगर आउट करना क्या है. बट एटलीस्ट आफ्टर दैट 6 मंथ भाई, यू विल बी कंप्लीटली फोकस्ड इन जस्ट वन डायरेक्शन, कि अपने को ये करना है और इधर जाएंगे. सो दिस इज लाइक थोड़ा सा ज्ञान टाइप में है, बट ले लो यार, काम आता है, मतलब मेरे टाइम में तो मुझे नहीं मिला. सो
No, very, very true. When we say this thing now, learn from everyone else's experience because लाइफ इज वेरी शॉर्ट, यू कैनॉट गेन ऑल द एक्सपीरियंसेस इन दैट वन लाइफ, लेकिन दूसरों की गलतियों से जरूर सीख सकते हो और दूसरों के एक्सपीरियंसेस से जरूर सीख सकते हो आप.
एब्सोल्युटली. कूल. ये एक क्वेश्चन है यार, आई गेस ये तो मेरे को भी आता था. लाइक इज गेस्टिमेट रिक्वायर्ड फॉर क्रैकिंग डेटा एनालिस्ट इंटरव्यूज? लाइक डू दे आस्क एनीथिंग रिलेटेड
There,
टू
there
गेस्टिमेट्स?
are a few companies which focus on your problem solving abilities, your reasoning skills, normal these guesstimate type of questions and puzzles and all of these things. So it all boils down to the same thing, because in other roles it's about how well you are at problem solving, that is tested through complex TSA questions. But data analytics, they cannot test you in that way, right? So here they test you that, okay, if you are given a question, how is your brain working? That how will you come up to solution? You're given a very complex kind of thing, guesstimates, puzzles, and all of these. There are a few companies who do ask for, but what I understand is currently that was something that was 4 to 5 years back. Now companies are not towards, okay, puzzles only पूछेंगे, ये सारा पूछेंगे. It can be and it cannot be. It's not a mandatory thing in any data analytics role.
Cool, cool. All right. So, oh, okay. Shakti is like, please talk fully in English so that who don't know Hindi also understand. So, last 35 minutes, we were completely talking in English. All right. So, guesstimate part has been answered. Now, looking for okay, question. The price 5400 finally after applying the coupon code launch 55. Yes, yes, Arpit. It is after applying the coupon code. I guess let's answer this one. Will AI steal data analytics jobs? Finally, the most awaited question is here. I know this will definitely come.
Even I am guessing this question,
Yeah,
and
so just like Microsoft acquired like that OpenAI and the Chat GPT part. So this is the correct question for the correct person. Guys, you have asked the right question to the right person.
even I was about to say that same thing, that you are asking to a question to a person who is already a data scientist, who is working into AI, who is working at a company who started this AI revolution as such.
Yeah.
But one thing, even I am hearing at my current company, because this thing would boil down to that, okay, all the jobs will be gone and market situation is bad. So it is obvious that people start thinking that AI will take over all the jobs. Let's
Mhm.
be very specific to data domain jobs. If I talk about data analyst role specifically, I talk about, right, here we are talking about solving a problem through data. Okay. AI cannot, AI can be smart enough to answer all the questions, but there is always a human in the loop that is required. Any data science model cannot work until there is a human to test that, to build that, to create that, and to modify that. Similarly, analytics job specifically is one such role where AI can never take over that job. AI can prepare a dashboard for you, but AI will not be able to answer questions which are required for a business. AI cannot take over a job. It can be a part of your job, but it cannot take over your job. Be rest assured.
Awesome, cool. I guess now you got the answer from the engineer who is working in that company who brought the AI revolution. So next time, do not doubt on these choices that if you go into the data domain, then your job will be replaced by some AI tool. No, it's not going to be happen that easily. Awesome. So next question, which I can see. Okay, life is slow mo. Nice. If I completed engineering 2 years late after 8 years completed, am I eligible for data analyst? Yes, you are. I mean, that kind of constraint is not there. I mean, if somebody completed their engineering by 1 year late or 2 year late, that's not a constraint. But again, since we are approaching to our end time of our live stream, again, just to reiterate, I have provided our bootcamp link and the mega launch offer code in the description, and it is available in the pinned comment as well. So do not miss this opportunity to learn all your data analyst related things completely from the basic zero to hero journey in 3 months, along with your cool industry projects by mentor from MS itself. So now let's take two, three more questions, and
Mhm.
yep, then we will end up this live stream because it's your Saturday evening, like not for us, maybe all of you as well. So just enjoy your rest of the day. So let's pick two, three more questions. Uh, All right, what I can see, let me pick the good one. Data analytics. Let me check which one is not repeated. Uh, okay, this question, I can take up this question. I am pursuing MCA. Is it good to enroll in this batch or I have to wait for MCA completion? Rahul, I am also from the MCA background. So, based on my experience of the college time, right? That time, as I said, there was no one to guide me that in which direction I should go. But at least here I am, the MCA passed out to tell you that this is the right time to upskill yourself so that you are industry ready before your college placements and all these things. Is it 100% job guarantee bootcamp? No, like we do not do that kind of scam because job guarantee is a total scam in the industry. We do not charge lakhs or thousands. We kept our bootcamps very affordable because taking live classes requires a lot of human effort. You can feel it, right? A mentor sitting and taking all of your queries, teaching live for 2 hours, so it's take a lot of effort. But yeah, these job guarantee type of things, never ever we are going to put on our boot camps. We will help you on all possible things related to the job assistance, right? Be it your resume, LinkedIn, how to effectively use the job hunting platform. But just to charge lakhs of fees, we are not going to put any such type of scam in our boot camps.
One
Who
point
will be
just
the
clarify.
faculty? Faculty is here. Faculty
I'm the
sitting
faculty.
here itself. So Shalja from Microsoft, she is going to be the instructor. Let's pick this one. What one should do if she has experience in non-IT for 3 years and want to switch to IT domain as data role? How will one get a job as a fresher because companies hire for experienced people? Let's ask the mentor itself.
And I'll try to break this into two parts. First
Yes.
is 3 years of experience. Frankly, Utkarsh, is not a big deal. Frankly, you are still at the very starting point of your career. So if you want to switch, there is no right time than this time. So don't double check. The more you'll wait, more number of year of experience will be added to your portfolio. That is one thing. And second thing is, that's very right point here, that companies do look for experienced professional. Okay, because companies, they don't want to spend much of their time to train you, right? So how do you overcome if you don't have experience? Your project works as your experience. Either you have experience in a domain. What is experience? Basically, that you have worked on some projects of company itself, you have worked on real life cases, and that's what you can replace, or what you're calling as, that how will you justify that year of experience comparatively to others in the industry, is by making your portfolio very strong, so that once you apply for any job roles, even if you're coming from a different background, if you're switching, you are making sure to tell the company that I am coming with these skill sets and I am coming with hands on experience. That justifies your experience even if you don't have any such in this domain.
Awesome. Thank you, Shailja, for answering this one. Uh, Next question, like only your boot camp will be sufficient and the theory material is enough for us, or we need to acquire more extra knowledge from elsewhere? What's your thought, Shailja? You are the
No, no, no.
instructor, you have prepared it.
No, you don't have to worry about that. That you, and I believe it's a very common question. If you remember, Shashank, even we would used to do that, like some course from here, some course from here, some learning from here. So don't worry about that thing. I have made sure that I cover everything from the very basic, so that there are a lot of people who come from a very different background who don't have much knowledge. There are the people who come with a bit of experience as well. So my bootcamp is designed in a way that I cover everything from the basic to advanced level. No one will be left behind. And second thing is, from theory to practical, we'll cover everything. So you don't have to go anywhere else to cover up for anything.
All right, awesome. Cool. Okay. Now, what's next? Next. Please.
There are a few questions regarding the hierarchy of data analyst and how it goes. So if we can
Yep,
take that.
you want to talk about, you can, but I would highly recommend to check the website because I personally prepare that hierarchy, right? How you are going to start and till which point you will reach. So you can visit that one. That like I spend a couple of hours to create that one. But yeah, maybe Shelja, if you want to summarize in a minute or
Yeah.
so. So yeah,
So, firstly, yeah, guys, we have spent a lot of time to prepare that website. A lot of questions are around the questions. Will you directly get the answers if you visit the website? So, do have a
right.
look once. And second is, hierarchy is there, not very different from SD1, SD2, and all of these. You can start as a data analyst, move into data engineering, or even move to data science role, or even continue your journey as a data analyst and move to senior roles. So, it's not a very typical hierarchy, very different from any other roles. But yeah, you'll find the answers on the website. Do visit that.
Cool. Awesome. So this one question is also from Varun. I have a BPO experience and on a break for 4 months to get the relevant skills and want to become DA. Does my experience matter?
It does. And I would say that for any person who is already worked in any domain, your work experience would matter. It is not like if you are switching domain, you are starting afresh, like the one coming out of college. You
Mhm.
can always justify your year of experience. You have already worked in the industry, you understand how things work out. It's just that you are changing your tech stack. You're not changing anything. So your year of experience would count. Even your previous salary would count while salary negotiation. So this is a common question for people, and there is just a one common answer. You don't have to leave everything behind to go somewhere else. You can take that along with new things to go into data analyst domain.
Right, right. Yeah, that salary question, like if like since your previous experience is going to be counted, absolutely your previous salary, then you will get that 50, 60, 100% hike, right? Question from Dilip. I have total 6 years experience as Oracle DBA, resigned to my job. Now I want to switch to data analyst role. Can I do make it? Will I get the job? So since you have resigned it, maybe my first assumption is you have another job in hand. If not, maybe you are trying to upskill yourself. That is also completely fine. But I definitely want to take up your question, Dilip, because in my experience, I have worked closely with these people, especially the DBAs. So you are definitely pretty much sorted in few skills, right, which are like much needed in the data analyst domain, the your SQL part and the actual crux of the databases, right? All the optimizations related things, right? You are just the like pro or veteran into it, so you guys know about it. But the things which you just need to focus on, right, more analytical capabilities you need to build. You just need to have that kind of strength. Apart from that, little bit on the Python side, just to add that plus in your profile. And rest of the thing, the main core focus you need to basically you need to focus in the direction of the Excel, the statistics part, and the dashboarding part, because ultimately that is something which is required, right? Being a data analyst, that would be your most important job, to work on those data sets, preparing those data models, interacting with the stakeholders to get the requirements done and have the end result delivered. So all these things you just need to acquire. Rest of the things you are like pretty much already sorted. You have your you can say experience as well, professional experience, so that would be good. Question from the Sony: how data analyst job is different from data science? Again, one most common question.
So, just I have always mentioned this thing. And consider these job roles as a ladder, as a step in your ladder. Data analyst is where we can start with very basic analytical skills. And when I say basic and starting and easiest entry point, don't think that data analyst is something that doesn't require anything. You can get it like that. I'm comparing it with data science role. Because when you jump onto data science role, you talk about machine learning, you talk about deep learning. There are a lot of things that come on top of it, and it goes to advanced level. So data analysts are the people who perform the first level of job, and then comes the job for data scientist. So if you want to move into your career hierarchy, then also you can go towards that, and that's how companies also operate. The initial work is done by data analyst, and the output, the data they're generating, is then consumed by data scientists to then perform machine learning algorithms, etc., etc. of their work.
Awesome, cool. All right, I guess we are done with the questions. Pretty much, we tried our best to answer all your queries. And yep, because of the time constraint, we would be only able to spend this much amount of time with you all. But last two questions I can quickly pick. First from the Sonam, what is the last date to enroll? So the mega offer which we are currently running, that we will close by today itself. We were about to close it 3 4 days back, but there was a huge request to extend it. We extended it, and we thought let's explain to other people as well who are really interested into it. So the mega offer launch, you can utilize the code, and the bootcamp link is in the pinned comment and also in the description itself. You can have it from there. And I guess this is the answer for your question as well, Arpit. Means like today we will be closing this one probably like after half an hour this live stream ends. So yep. All right, cool. I guess that is what we had. So first, let me type a big thank you all for joining. And yep, if you have any question, folks, right, then feel free to put it in the chat box once the live stream is available, right? And if you visit our website, in case, right, if you have any been like any sort of doubt and you want to uh, have a conversation with us, you want to understand more about it, maybe the boot camp or anything related to the query, just go to our website www.growdataskills.com. There will be a like get a call feature. You can put your query, right? We will provide you that career counseling and support number as well. If you are facing any sort of technical issue, maybe while enrolling in the course, or again you have any doubt, use that support number, support email number, drop your query. Within a minute you will get a response from our side, and all your queries will be resolved. So, yeah, this is what we had. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and we'll see you soon.